special message for all of you fans here in Leicester Square. Everyone watching around the world, take a look.
Hi to all our amazing fans at premieres in Birmingham, Cardiff, Dublin, Glasgow, Manchester, Sheffield and London. Let us know what you're doing by tweeting hashtag 1DMoviePremiere. Thank you for being there with us.
Thanks, thank you.
World premiere of this is ours.
Ni mandelería o no. ¿Ya estás aquí? Mi prima me factura, hija, ¿no?
Hi everyone, thank you for being the best fan in the world and sharing.
Métete al folder de facturas y es la número 14 de Mix Up. En...
Ay, chiquititos.
Thank you so much, everybody. And are we gonna learn stuff in the film that maybe the fans don't know about you yet? Because these guys probably know quite a lot about you, I think it's fair to say.
Yeah, they definitely know a lot about us, but it was really important for us to try and get our real individual personalities through. And I think we did that. Neil,
What do you think? Yes. So your fans are amongst the most loyal in the world. The proof is in this. They are the most loyal. Exactly. So what? There was a fly on the mic, and Louis to the rescue. Thank you very much. So what is the best thing about your fans? Because you're going to make a lot of people very happy by tonight.
I think the best thing about our fans is their dedication. As you can see, they come out in their numbers and support us, and we couldn't ask for much more. So yeah, I guess the dedication is the best thing about our fans.
You guys have changed at all? What do you think about you has changed you in this whole experience? I think a few of us have got more patience. Must have changed. I've answered that, I think has changed the most. Amazing. Harry, you've got to the fans for all.
It's the one thing you don't see it more than once.
Go and see it multiple times, guys. Amazing. Well, I'm not going to keep you guys any longer because I get the impression there are a few people out here who want to meet you. So why don't you guys go down there, meet. Boys, you already have to do it for One Direction.
¿Ya está, subir?
Ya. ¿Van a cantar o qué es eso? La premiere de la película.
¿Eso ahí? ¿Eso en vivo entonces? Entonces ya sale todo lo que te digo. No, dice. Es que ya se grabó todo lo Paola. Que ya no lo iba a dejar. ¿Cómo dices que? aquí ya viene con centímetro. ¿Se lo bajo o se lo dejo? Las tablas de fila no quedaron muy abajo. No, es que no se las corto junto con esto. Ya salen de aquí de la cadena, no sé, a subirlas. ¿Cómo vas a ir a subir? Ajá. Pero de aquí también quiero subir un poco. Porque lo veo muy, le subí mucho la bastilla.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Oscar-nominated director and producer and the filmmaker behind Wonder, Morgan Spurlock!
que, bueno, antes lo pasaban en el 9 y yo estaba con él.
Amazing. This is absolutely incredible. Have you ever seen anything like this in your entire life? Never anything like this in my entire life. It's amazing. It's absolutely incredible. Hey, I love everybody over there. Hey, everybody on the other side of the fence. Big wave to the people on the other side of the fence. There's as many of them out there as there are in here. So how did you get involved in this project? I mean, I got called by the studio last year. They said, have you ever heard of this band, One Direction? I was like, of course I have. They're one of the big bands, One Direction. I was like, of course I have. They're the biggest bands in the world. Gets this many. I tell you, the thing that I think makes them so special is all these people that are here today. I mean, the fact that like, all these fans that are out here, you've got, what, 10, 15,000 fans. These are the reason that these boys are so special. They absolutely are. You're a Directioner through and through now, right? Listen, I've seen 35 plus One Direction concerts. You can't see that many without being a Directioner. Exactly. Amazing. Morgan, thanks very much for talking to me and enjoy the premiere. You're going to speak to Alex later as well. Morgan!
Ese es el que
We have now reached over 1.5 million tweets, ladies and gentlemen, for this very premiere. And I'm joined now by another producer from One Direction, This Is Us. Ben Winston, how are you? Good. Good, how are you all? I'm very well. I like the fact we're sort of wearing matching. Well, I heard you were going polka dots. Yeah. I joined you with. Thanks very much. I'm setting a trend. I'm not wearing socks, though. Exactly. I'm not wearing any socks. No. Regretting it now, as are all the people in the front row here who can smell me. So, what do you think it is about One Direction that causes hysteria on this kind of a scale? Because you must know the boys quite well. Yeah, I think One Direction, I think that what's the key to them is they don't try too hard. They don't try and be anybody that they're not. And I think so many pop groups and music groups, they're quite posy, they dress the same, they dance the same. And these boys have captured the mood of, I guess, a generation to a certain extent, because they will just be who they want to be. And I think that that genuineness comes through in everything that they do. And I think that's what people relate to and what people love. Definitely. Never before has a boy band made such a virtue of not doing choreographed dance moves. I know, they're dining out on it, as you'll see in the film. Yeah. Now, you've known the boys from pretty much the beginning. I mean, do you think that they've changed at all? Because that would only be natural, right? Well, when we say the beginning, we're talking like 2.5 years. But yeah, it's been a quick journey. I don't think they've changed at all, and I think genuinely that's what's so amazing about them, is that they have just stayed so close to their roots. They haven't changed while the world around them has changed. And they're sort of a group of very normal boys living very abnormal lives. Now they've kept their normality around the pandemonium that surrounds them wherever they go around the world. So, throughout this process, what is the most surprising thing you've learned about them? Is it that they are in fact still just a bunch of normal guys? What's the most surprising thing I've learned about them? No, I think you'd hope they would stay as normal as they would do. Do you know what? It's a difficult thing to answer. I think one of the things that somebody asked me was to ask for all these, average jobs on Saturday paper rounds. And within 2 years, they're believing that script. And you wouldn't commission it. And what's so fantastic is nothing is a better story than the real story of them. And I think that's what we tell so well in this film. Well, I can't wait to see it, Ben. Thank you very much, Ben Winston, everybody.
Bueno, pues ahora si empieza a llover, la pantelería. Muy especial. Mira. ¿Qué significa esto?
Desapareció del hospital y nadie sabe dónde está.
Queremos ese calentón. Ay, mi bebé. Sí, salió bueno.
No les da parálisis.
¿Ella quién es? ¿Su esposa Maribel? Ah, no, ya no.
Sí, ¿no?
Yo soy criminalista. Criminalista, yo no tengo nada que ver con eso.
Let's hear it for Mr. Simon Cowell!
Ayer le tiraron su bolsa de pavo, ¿verdad?
No, eso la dejé.
No se queda de la basura. Que sí la vi ahí. Y parece que sabe que la agarro para la basura.
Se me encendió. Ah, pero ya cuando termine de...
¿Le gustaron? Sí, pues
Claro.
¿Ya lo sabemos?
Leicester Square and around the world, Mr. Simon Cowell. Yes, here he is. So Simon, it's all right, isn't it?
This is like a dream come true.
It is. It's almost unbelievable. Seeing this kind of reaction, it must make you very, very proud.
I feel like a father.
I'm not going to go down that road. So what made you, let's get back to the back, what made you pick the members of 1D above all those other contestants in that year's X Factor? Probably one of the best decisions of your life.
Yeah, it was the best decision of my life. You know what? We literally made the decision in 10 minutes. And I think they just gravitated towards me. We didn't want to lose them from the competition. Didn't know what was going to happen. And 3 years later, we're here. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Brilliant, it's brilliant. And obviously you're still in a lot of contact with them. How do you think they've managed to keep themselves so grounded? Because that's what everybody's saying, that they still are so grounded despite all of this success.
I had a feeling when I met them that these guys were special, that they weren't going to change in the making of this movie. I mean, they were so involved in the decisions, what they wanted to be like, same with their records. So they're the same guys we met 3 years ago.
Amazing, amazing. And now you must come into contact with a few 1D fans, and they must ask you a lot of questions about 1D. What is the thing that you're most commonly asked about the guys?
I can't repeat that, but I will say they have the best fans in the world.
They certainly do. That's you guys, and you guys. Now I know Alex Zane's going to be talking to you a little bit later on, but for now, Simon Cowell, everybody. Amazing, thanks.
¿Y eso por qué él mata a su... es cómplice de que mataron a su hijo? ¿Quién? Sí, está haciendo. Ahorita vengo.
Generation, this is us. Another cheer for Mr. Morgan Spurlock! Morgan, you just had a chance to walk the red carpet at the world premiere for your movie. How was the experience?
This is the greatest movie premiere I've ever been to in my entire life.
Now, obviously you knew One Direction was when you started making the movie, but how did you know about them? And was it a huge learning experience for making this movie?
Well, for me, I think what I love about them is just the connection that they have with these guys, with their fans. The original idea was it's a film about, you know, who we really are. But as you started to continue the editing process and making the film, it became very, very clear that This Is Us isn't just about that. It's about this. This success we have is about us. It's about the band and the fans.
I think I get that impression from being here in Leicester Square today, certainly. What was the most surprising thing that you learned about the boys while you were making the movie?
Well, I mean, I think the biggest thing is you come into a process like this. Woo! You come into a film like this and you think, like, oh, one of them's bound to be a diva. Somebody's going to be a diva. Somebody's got to be. But then you start to see how incredibly grounded they are, how real they are. They're the exact same guys they were 3 years ago. And for me, I think it's that humility that I really love.
Now, obviously, I know everyone's excited to movie, and they'll be excited to see the 3D. What was the decision? I love them, and I know you love them as well. So, tell me about the 3D. Why did you decide to shout the movie in 3D? Shout the movie, shoot the movie. That's the noise.
I mean, we wanted to make a film in 3D because you know, I wanted the film to be very intimate, and I think the way the film was shot, the way the film looks, like it creates an even more intimate, you know, process. Like you really feel like you can reach out and touch the boys during the film. Those moments where we're in their bedrooms, we're in their hotel rooms. I mean, you really feel like you're actually in those scenes.
And of course, the concert in 3D is quite amazing.
It's epic. And the guy who was our director of photography on this film, a guy named Tom Kruger, he did the film U2 3D a few years ago, and he has completely outdone himself. I mean, this is the best 3D I've seen in a concert film ever.
Now, tell us a bit about what, in your opinion, life in One Direction is like, because you spent so long with the boys. What does it mean to be in One Direction on the ground on a day-to-day basis?
I mean, it's crazy. Look at this. This is what it's like to be in One Direction. This is what it's like. Everywhere we would go, like the minute we would get out of the car, the minute we would show up, this many people would just pop up. It was incredible. So for me, it was such a moment to get to capture with this many fans, and it's like this all around the world. You know, it's like this in Tokyo, it's like this in Mexico City, throughout Europe. I mean, it was bananas.
And one final question before I let you go and enjoy the rest of your premiere. Obviously, you worked with Simon Cowell on the movie. What's it like working with the legend that is Simon Cowell?
Well, the wonderful thing about Simon Cowell is the guy that's on television is exactly the same guy in real life. Like the minute the TV's turned off, he's the same person. So you always know where you stand with Simon. He'll tell you exactly what he thinks. He was a real proponent of me directing the film. So we had a great relationship, working relationship.
Fantastic. Morgan Spurlock, a pleasure talking to you. Enjoy the rest of your premiere. Morgan Spurlock, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, here we are, back on the little stage, and I'm joined by the Baroque! Yeah! Go crazy! They sort of are. Guys, have you ever been to a premiere before?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Not One Direction premiere, though, sir.
There's nothing like it. How does this one compare?
Well, normally, like, Will Smith's here and stuff like that, but it's quite cool because it's like a pop bonanza.
You got Will Best here instead this time.
It's fantastic. That's a little bit better.
Yeah. So what do you reckon it is about the 1D boys that gets in this kind of response? And do you guys have it in yourselves?
Yeah, man, they're just mad normal. Do you know what I mean? They're like normal guys, so everyone can relate to them.
And are you guys Directioners?
We are indeed. Yeah. I'm trying to get my hair like Harry, so.
Yeah, you're giving him a run for his money. Guys, thanks very much for talking to me. No more roads, everybody!
Never seen me so scared, mate.
What are you talking about? I'm totally relaxed.
¿Qué pasó con esto? ¿Quién piensa?
So now I'm joined by none other than McFly! Listen to that, lads! Listen to that! So, what's it like to be here in the 1D premiere? Because did you know the boys?
Yes, we do. Yes, sorry, that was very loud. Hi.
It's okay, shout, because they're all screaming, and they can't really hear anything. So have you guys been to a lot of premieres before?
Yes, we've been to a few, yeah.
And does this compare in any way to the others?
This is the most craziest. I think this is better than the Harry Potter premiere by far.
This one is way better than the Harry Potter premiere. Oh yeah, well, congratulations, you got Harry Potter in our midst.
I thought it was Harry Potter.
That one was years ago, mate, years ago. So, what do you guys think of the devotion that the 1D fans have?
It's quite remarkable, really. I'm slightly jealous. We too are very lucky with our fans, but these guys, it's crazy. They're very lucky boys.
And obviously, when you guys first saw One Direction on X Factor, as musicians yourselves, did you realise that Dougie, calm down. Did you realise that they would be so phenomenally successful when you first saw them?
Straight up, knew it. Saw them.
You picked it, mate. You picked it.
I run Simon Cowell personally said sign them up.
Really?
Yeah.
So we've got Harry Judd to thank for it.
I'm basically their manager, yeah.
That's incredible. That's incredible. McFly, everybody! Thanks, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage a legend. It's Mr. Ronnie Wood. Ronnie, I'm sure you've seen crowds like this numerous times, does it ever get normal? Is it ever going to get normal for the boys from 1D?
It's normal enough tonight, and I'm very proud of them, and I've always kept my eye on them, so I'm still keeping my eye on them.
What do you make of a response like this? What do you think it is about the boys that generate such enthusiasm for these fans?
Well, I know I needed someone to scream at when I was a teenager.
So tell me, are you looking forward to seeing this movie tonight?
Yeah, I'm very interested.
Oh, fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for the legend, Mr. Ronnie Wood!
Desarrolló con su tecnología óptica de la NASA, Eagle-Eyes le da máxima protección a sus ojos y máxima claridad con más definición garantizada. Solo para ver que se recibe la televisión, los números de nuestros programas serán subidos a un precio enorme de cuidados. Pero estamos todos. Si ya por ahí este instante también sirve para un elegante estudio financiero, una base de fibra limpiadora y antiguamente completamente gratis. Con algunos de los programas de los protección hasta un 99% de la número de protección de y una protección adicional contra las radiaciones de luz azul que tanto dañan la visión. Protección que los lentes corrientes jamás podrán dar. Eagle-Eyes llegamos ofreciendo visión excelente. No confíe sus ojos en cualquier forma. Su tecnología está en el supermercado especial que ganó el premio de tecnología del Salón de la Fama. Y ahora está certificado con la protección especial para proteger la visión contra rayos UV y luz azul. Los números de nuestro programa le dan hasta un 99.9% de protección UVA y UVB y además absoluta funcional de sola panorama. Podrá haber probado otros lentes de sol e iluminaciones baratas, pero solo para el de Eagle-Eyes me ofrecen muchísimo, por muy bueno. Estos me piden por completo los fríos. De hecho, el fuego de sol lograba acercarme.
Perfecto, como se me casó en el horizonte inundación.
Yo me organizo y obtiene sus lentes panorama de Eagle-Eyes a un precio que no repetiremos. Y además llévese un elegante estuche con cielo, una noche de microfibra limpiadora y el pie de ver, completamente gratis. Nuevos lentes panorama de Eagle-Eyes.
No puedo perder más sentido que me he hecho en mis piernas, porque me hidrata y es una
Un cepillo de dientes nunca puede faltar.
me he cargado de mi celular.
Yo como decía,
Pero mis cremas no pueden faltar. Cepillo de dientes, desodorante, perfume. Me da mucha moda usar la noche, siendo sincero. De perfume, carita de perfume, cha 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 cha.
Más te vale que me hayas traído todo lo que
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the moment I know you've been waiting for. So, if you save some, it's time to go crazy for One Direction! So boys, I'll come to you first, Niall. Tell me what you make of this truly incredible event here in Leicester Square.
It's actually unbelievable. This is like, gotta say it now, this is the best night of our career, and I'm sure the boys are gonna agree. 2 years ago, nearly 3 years ago, we were standing on this stage, or standing around here watching a Harry Potter premiere, and we were just about to release our own movie. I'm gonna just say again, I said it earlier on, I don't know if anyone's hearing me, but we just want you to know that, all you guys watching around the world as well, that this movie, first of all, wouldn't happen without you. When you go to watch it, we want you to know that when you're looking around here tonight and all these posters and stuff, you guys made this happen, so thank you so much for everything for the last 2 years. But you look at us, we've got new tunes coming on the way for you soon, so you guys posted, we love you guys so much, we can't even thank you enough, thank you.
Fantastic stuff. Now, let me ask you, let me take you back. I hope you can hear me, because this is the loudest crowd I've ever heard. Which is probably the wrong thing to say. Let me take you back to your time on X Factor. Did you ever imagine you'd be standing on a stage at the world premiere of your film, and for it to look like this?
To be honest, mate, I just can't believe we're actually here. It's all down to these guys. I'm standing here, I just said to Louis, I can't believe where we are right now. It's absolutely amazing.
Let's talk about the movie. Tell us a little bit, because I know people are excited to see it. What is in store for fans when they get to the cinema and see This Is Us?
There's plenty of our usual weirdness. There's plenty of that. And it just kind of brings out our own individual personalities. And yeah, I don't really know what I'm saying.
I mean, the one thing for me is you all seem to get on so well when you're on the road. Do you ever argue?
Do we ever argue?
Do you ever argue?
Obviously, we're like a family, we have squabbles every now and then, but it's never come to fisticuffs.
Hang on a minute. This man's just been. Oh, Cal just been like, dog it, Cal.
That's terrible. But yeah, we have so much fun on the road. It's been an incredible 3 years, and we've had a lot of good laughs. So hopefully we can keep doing that.
All right, now we have fans as well in the square. We've got fans who are watching all around the country, and I'd love it if you could say hello, give a message to those fans. And we'll start with you, Zayd. We're looking down the camera on the far side of the stage. Do you have a message to the fans watching in Birmingham?
Birmingham, we want to say a massive thank you for all your support.
We are under attack, just so you know.
Now getting things thrown at us.
And Liam, fans in Manchester and Sheffield, they'd love to hear a special message from you.
Fans in Manchester, thank you so much for spending the time to come out and see us. Hope you can enjoy it.
Harry, we have fans in Cardiff watching right now. Have you got a message for the fans watching in Cardiff?
Everybody watching in Cardiff, thank you so much for being there. Can't wait to come back.
much, Harry. And Louis, Scottish fans for you. Can you say a message to our fans watching in Scotland? That would be amazing. Down that camera over there.
We love Scotland. You are Scottish. Yeah!
And Niall, we are broadcasting in Dublin, Ireland. If you got a message to your Irish fans, that would be amazing.
Hello Dublin, hello everyone in Ireland. Thank you so much for your support. See you all across back next year and enjoy the film. Love you lots.
And finally, we have fans in countries around the world who are tuned in live to this premiere right now, watching on Yahoo. If you could all give a message to the fans around the world, I would love that.
Hi everybody, thank you so much for watching. We genuinely can't believe everyone who's turned up and everyone who's watching live from all over. Thank you so much. This is amazing for us. You guys are ready. So thank you.
So you've had yogurt, donuts, and some randoms and a pair of glasses thrown at
round
you.
trees.
Absolutely fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen in Leicester Square, let's hear it for One Direction!
Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, time to welcome to the stage a man who without none of this would have been possible. It's Mr. Simon Cowell! Simon, great to have you here. What have you made of this world premiere for your voice?
Just absolutely incredible. I always dreamt when I was a kid that one day maybe I could produce a movie, and I'm like, this is fantastic.
It is absolutely fantastic. Now, you have worked with a lot of stars. What, in your opinion, makes the 1D Boys different?
They've got the X Factor.
That is a good answer. That is a very good answer. Now, this, despite your list of huge successes, this actually marks the first time you have produced a movie. Is it going to be the last? Or, I guess what I'm asking, is Hollywood better?
This is the first movie, you say? Yeah, this is the first one, and hopefully it won't be the last. I've absolutely loved it. I mean, I'm not the only producer, there's a ton of people involved. In fact, the band produced the movie as well, but it was an incredible experience. I loved it. And for anyone who wants to know what it's like being in a band, you've got to watch this film because you've got to see how much hard work it is.
Well, I was going to ask, because you've seen the boys on stage, you've seen them behind stage working hard. How would you describe life being in One Direction?
Insane, but it's work because they have the best fans in the world.
And you, I'm sure, are one of those fans. Dodging water bottles now. Do you have a message for all the thousands of One Direction fans here in the square and the countless thousands watching us live online?
Yeah, I would like to say a very, very special thank you, because without you, we wouldn't be here today, and it will never be forgotten. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, the legend that is Mr. Simon Cowell! Square, and indeed to everyone watching around the country and around the globe stepping on a water bottle. I ask you to tweet #1DMoviePremiere. It's time to take a look at the counter and how many tweets have been received for this one event. It is now over 2 million tweets. Congratulations and thank you to everyone who did that.
That was it.